folks, a couple of quick announcements before we jump into today's video. The first is to just take a minute and celebrate the fact that this channel has now reached 10,000 subscribers. So a big thank you to all of you for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for getting involved in this channel in all the ways that you have. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful. And to show that gratitude, as promised, there's going to be a giveaway. And initially there was just going to be one winner, but I'm feeling so excited about this that I felt like we should have 3 winners. So there's going to be 3 different signed prints that will be given away. So stay tuned to the end of the video for directions on how to enter that. And the second announcement is that I am now on Patreon. You may have seen the video that I made about that earlier this week. If not, I will link to it on the screen and in the description box. But the reason that that's important is that as we're coming into the month of October here, the end of October is the 1-year channelversary for this channel. And what that marks is not only a year of making videos, but it also marks the end of what was initially a personal project, a challenge that I had made to myself to see if I could make videos every single week for a year. And thanks pretty much entirely to you all and to all of the comments and emails and notes and messages that you have sent. Hearing the impact that these videos have had on you, how you're feeling inspired, what you're doing in your own creative life, what you've learned from them, what you'd like to learn, that has really given me a lot of energy and inspiration and the desire to do this all again, to have another year of making videos. And in order to do that, I need your help. So if you value what you see on this channel, if you like seeing these videos every week and you want to see that continue, please consider taking a minute to visit my Patreon page and to watch the video. And if you're not in a position where you can support financially, I totally understand that too. Another way that you could help be to share the channel, to share the Patreon video. Yeah, as I said, this is something that I would love to continue doing, but I need your help to make that happen. So thank you again for the 10K subscribers. Thank you for supporting this channel. And without further ado, here is your video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and I'm guessing to the hearts and experiences of many creative people and probably just all of humanity, if that's not getting too big. And that is dealing with self-doubt and insecurity, especially and particularly as an artist and creative person. So the first thing that I want to say is just that it is totally normal to feel insecure, whether we're talking specifically as an artist and about your work or just in general. We all deal with insecurity and self-doubt. And that is reassuring to me personally because I know that even if somebody looks like they're super confident and they have it all figured out and they're not struggling with it, that there's a lot going on beneath the surface that we don't see. So, you know, if for some reason somebody looks like they don't deal with it at all, it's probably either because they're ignoring it and they're just like really good at hiding it, but they feel it really intensely, or they have somehow found a way to learn to live with it and incorporate it into not only their regular life, but their artistic vocation as well. So just because it's a normal part of the human experience doesn't mean that it can't be totally incapacitating and really problematic for lots of areas of your life, but particularly for creative pursuits. So in my own experience, insecurity really only becomes a problem if it stops me from doing something. And if that happens, if insecurity becomes so powerful that it stops you in your tracks or stops you from trying, then you may find yourself in a situation that I have been in many times. And I don't know who first came up with this little phrase, but I've mentioned it before in other videos, I think, and that is stuck in the paralysis of analysis. And the thoughts that I find myself thinking in those times are, you know, that my work is worthless, that it doesn't mean anything, that it's terrible, especially compared to so-and-so. So if I find myself at that point, if insecurity really has me stuck and there's nothing, or I feel like there's nothing I can do, I've learned that there are kind of 2 main paths or 2 ways for me to approach it. And the first is to lean into it. And that entails me noticing and acknowledging, yes, I'm feeling really crappy about this right now. I'm feeling really insecure. These are the things that are making me feel insecure. Here's what I'm unsure about. So just kind of looking it directly in the face and saying, yep, I see it, it's there. And then deciding to, in spite of that, or maybe even because of it, continue making work. Feelings of self-doubt can be tied in really powerful ways to vulnerability. And vulnerability, if you're willing to be honest about it and confront it and really handle it with care and authenticity, can be a huge source of meaning and inspiration and value in your work. So yeah, I would say that's one approach: leaning in, acknowledging it, getting really in touch with it, and then saying, I'm gonna make something else out of this. So personally though, this first approach doesn't always work, and sometimes if I'm stuck in a cycle of uncertainty and self-doubt that's so powerful that it really has me stuck and I'm not moving, I'm not doing anything, the only way that I can break that cycle of inertia is to just ignore the self-doubt and ignore the insecurity. And the way I do that is by taking action. So it's never, for me, it never works to just mentally ignore it, to say, okay, like I'm gonna pretend I know it's not there, I know that's just in my head and everyone else is feeling that way. I need to like kind of figure out how to get out of this mind rut on my own. And then take action. For me, that just doesn't work. If I'm really stuck in, a place where I can't get past the self-doubt, the only thing that I can do is just say, all right, this is here, I'm not going to listen to it, and I'm going to take action. And for me, action and momentum and doing things that stop the thinking, that's really the most effective way to get out of a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. And when I say taking action, I don't mean suddenly saying, okay, like I'm feeling really bad about myself and my art and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Instead, I'm just gonna make a masterpiece. No, I'm not even talking about anything near that grand. I'm just saying choosing to do one thing, whether, so if I'm in that place where I'm lying on the ground listening to sad music, just saying, okay, I'm going to just get up and do a 5-minute sketch. Or I'm gonna get up and maybe do something that's creative and feeds me creatively, but isn't expressly visual or visual art or drawing or painting. So maybe that would be, I might put on some music and sing, or I might do some baking, or even go for a walk. It's just about getting out of that stuck place and choosing some action. And if I do decide, okay, I'm gonna doodle for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or I'm just gonna work in my sketchbook and do whatever I want, even if it's just like drawing a page full of hearts for 10 minutes, something that gets my body moving and gets me out of that place in my brain that is just so full of analysis and fear and self-doubting. So yeah, I would say those are kind of my two main approaches: the looking it in the face and actually even turning it around as a source of turning the insecurity into a source of inspiration and drive. And then if it's just too much, if it's too powerful, if the insecurity is keeping me from doing anything, then just deciding to not pay attention to it and do something that requires action and movement and the use of my hands and my eyes and my body in some way that redirects that energy. And then in terms of living with insecurity on a daily basis, I have had to learn over time, and as I've gotten older, to I guess just figure out ways to work in spite of it and or to incorporate it. For me, it's been really important to not compare myself or my work to other people. And that's why I've said in different videos, when I'm feeling kind of, I don't know, like dry and unsure and like I really need inspiration, I don't like to look at other people's work, because I know that when I'm in that place, all that my brain is going to be able to do is compare myself, and it's actually going to make the problem worse. So I love looking at other people's work, but only really like if I'm in a good place and feeling like I can do that constructively by appreciating them and admiring them, and maybe even being motivated by that. But if I'm already kind of struggling with the insecurity a little bit, it's not good for me to do, because I'll just get to a place where I compare myself, and that is just like the death of creativity. So yeah, I would say not comparing myself to others is really important. And then also for me, working earlier in the morning. At that point, I feel like I have a lot more creativity. I'm less inhibited. I have less feelings about like, oh man, the whole half the day has gone by and I've only gotten this much done or whatever. It's just a much simpler, clearer time for me. So I feel like my inner critic is a lot quieter in the mornings. So I try to do the most creative work at that time of the day, because I know I'm least likely to feel that insecurity and hear it as a really loud volume. So I would say take some time to reflect and figure out when is your window in the day that you can kind of work around that voice or that presence. And then another thing very important for me that has just made a huge difference is to focus on specific achievable goals, so that at the end of the day, I'm left with not just the good feeling of having been working on something, but I can point to something and say like, okay, I made this, or this end product came out of it, or I learned this skill, whatever it is. Having specific goals that are achievable, that I know that I can do, and not coming up with like really huge, massive, grand schemes that are going to take 10 years and resources and skills that I might not even have at that point to complete. And then the last point is to take a moment to appreciate and be grateful for the work that you've done and the things that you've learned from that work, and to not just let it sail right by. Because I think if you're a person that struggles with insecurity in the way that I do, it's really easy for me to minimize the things that I have felt happy about or felt proud of, and to maximize the ways that I feel uncertain or insecure. So having regular times where I make a point to appreciate and be grateful and feel good about things that I have done and have finished, that helps me offset and really kind of balance some of the regular hum of insecurity that tends to crop up. So that is about it for this video. As I said, this is all stuff that is really personal and has been part of my approach to dealing with this. So if you have also dealt with insecurity and self-doubt, and there are approaches or tricks or things that you've learned or quotes that have been meaningful to you, leave them in the comments below so that other people can get a sense of that and can kind of see how much this is a universal struggle and how we all deal with it in our own ways. And if you have, as always, if you have any other questions or ideas for future videos, you can message me or tweet me or leave those in the comments below. And I hope you all have a really great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey folks, sorry for my super messy desk here, but I am in the middle of a few projects, so just wanted to take a minute to show you each of these prints that will be the prizes for the giveaway. First is this stack of sugar cookies with rainbow sprinkles. Second is this pair of avocados, or actually it's really one avocado but cut in half. And third is this basket of raspberries. Okay, so to enter, it's super simple. One entry per person. Anyone can enter from anywhere in the world. I will send the winners their packages wherever they are. And all you have to do to enter is to leave a comment on this video letting me know what your favorite food is. And one entry per person, please. And the winners will be selected completely at random a week from... Well, actually, I'll put the date on the screen. It'll be sometime next week, but the winners will be selected completely at random on that day and then notified and sent their prizes. So that's it. Happy entering, good luck, all of that. Hope you all have a great week. Bye!